Hey guys, this is Sarah. I wanted to share my current situation with my concussion, and I had to write everything down with the hope that I remember it all. Many of you know I have ADHD, however, my memory since my concussion is significantly worse and different now. Bear with me as I try to speak and talk about it. If you'd like, you're always welcome to speed it up and listen to it at 1.5 times speed. I first had my concussion on April 11th. I didn't know how bad my concussion was until a couple days later. Went to the ER on maybe 3 days after, and I believe I called my primary care a few days after going to the ER so that I could follow up and be seen. And I had that roughly about 2.5 weeks after my concussion. After being seen by my primary care, I requested to be seen by a neurologist, and despite some hesitancy, she eventually got me a referral. I also requested for other assistance, whether that was a social worker or something, because this process wasn't really something I was familiar with. May 12th, I was able to see my neurologist for the first time, and during that appointment, I had shared all my symptoms and was obviously significantly worse than how I am right now, given that it's now September. Of course you're gonna clean yourself on camera anyways. During that appointment, I really struggled to even stay conscious. I really struggled to verbalize what was going on with me, given that I couldn't even really see properly. I could visually see images and text, but my comprehension wasn't quite there, and even for a little over a month or so of my concussion, I couldn't really read. I also had issues with being able to track properly, even though my eyes could follow. My understanding of what was going on, my comprehension was severely affected, on top of my extreme short-term memory loss, especially at the time. I still have it now, but significantly worse back then. And when I was speaking to my neurologist, I had shared the obvious, or common, I shouldn't say obvious, but the common experiences of struggling with the headache and the nausea and feeling off balance. But my main concerns were my speech, my extreme short-term memory loss, my inability to read at the time, and my lack of ability to comprehend what was going on. And thankfully, I was able to process images a little bit easier, but that whole process was still difficult. I had also shared that I had gone to the ER and that everything in terms of the basic tests of having me walk, touch their fingers, follow their fingers with my eyes, being able to lift my hands up to check for any signs of paralysis or stroke or anything like that. I had shared that those basic tests were done. However, there was no test done for, again, the cognitive aspect of my experience, which was the most concerning for me. I believe they did an EKG. I was told that they were just trying to see if there's any cause or any underlying thing for the supposed fainting, which is a whole other thing. I left that appointment not really having the capacity to comprehend what happened at the end. I just remember being very confused because my brain was exhausted at that point. I was told that I had a follow-up, and my follow-up was on June 9th. So again, my concussion was April 11th. My first appointment with my neurologist was May 12th. My follow-up was June 9th. On June 9th, thankfully, I went to my appointment with a friend of mine, which isn't a privilege I have frequently. In fact, I don't normally have that luxury. When I went to my appointment on June 9th, I had communicated that I, again, still am experiencing the same symptoms as before, and that I was unsure why I didn't have any documentations of my previous appointment. Sorry, I kind of skipped in between, but essentially between my appointments, I had tried to get documentation of my appointment so that I can remember for myself, because my memory was terrible. And I got a copy from my primary care, and the documentation shared with me had no notes on it. Very, very minimal, if anything. The main symptoms that were really debilitating for me were not written on, well, anywhere. There was no documentation of my struggles or my the severity of my symptoms and the experiences I was having. And because there was no documentation for it, it was really hard for me to navigate my concussion and understand the next steps. When I saw my neurologist at my follow-up, that I had shared my concerns regarding those things and how important it was for me to get proper documentation for everything, because I couldn't qualify for different types of help and assistance without those proper documentations. On that day, after sharing that with my neurologist, essentially I was essentially left in the room in the clinic with my friend while he supposedly was doing another testing, which was not shared. None of the tests that I requested for, or even variations of it, were ever brought up. And I was, again, thankfully I had my friend there who looked for the doctor, and eventually he came back very, very quickly And I had said that I would like to get testings done to get an assessment or something for the cognitive end of things. Now I understand I understand, of course, I'm not the only patient, and I understand that there is a process. However, after requesting for the testing, he had mentioned that he was getting me a neurocognitive referral, and that was what I would need to see someone who specialized in neurocognitive so that I can schedule for the test. And after that, he quickly left and wouldn't come back. So my friend and I left that appointment very confused and shocked and unsure how to navigate. Now, unfortunately, because my concussion has also affected my memory severely and my ability to verbalize things and just share. I took a while to get to the right people, if I even got there, but I sought my primary care afterwards and requested a new neurologist, and I now have a new referral for a new neurologist under a different, I'm not sure, network maybe? I'm not sure. But my appointment for that is not until October, mid-October. And that will make it about, I think, 6 months or so. April. Let's see. September. Yeah. So about 6 months in to my concussion, and that will be my second first-time appointment with a different neurologist. That will just be an evaluation. I'm hoping to get some sort of official documented testings, and I was hoping to get that at least one type done, I would hope before 6 months, but yeah, I am crossing my fingers that when I do see the new neurologist again. Okay, Etsu is seeing bugs, and I'm getting bit. Thanks. Yeah, I am hoping I will have more clarity on how to move forward with the testings. But given that this isn't my specialty, if you or any of your family and friends do specialize in traumatic brain injuries as well as or more specifically, the types of testings I can do so that I can at least get these documented. That really is like my main priority, because the lack of proper documentation for my situation can really hinder getting assistance, which is an added layer to my current struggle already. Yeah, if you have recommendations or want to share, please, you're welcome to comment below, and I would love to hear, given that it's, again, not my specialty. Thank you. I am getting eaten by bugs. So yeah, we are wrapping this up, and I hope to see you guys next time.